I just want to see how much like a normal person can read. In the shop, you can already see like Christmas stuff, Christmas food, Christmas decoration, but I am reading a spooky book. This part is dry again, but I failed. I am a super normal, ordinary person. Other than reading, I still have my own life. Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? In my TBR and wrap-up video, I always said that even though I am on BookTube, I don't really read that much compared to others. In case you don't know, my monthly TBR usually consists of 4 books only because it is a goal that I have set earlier this year. It is a tiny number in this book community. So I want to give myself a test. No, not a test, but just to see how much do I really read in a week realistically. I will keep on my life as usual. I won't try to deliberately spare some more times on reading. I just want to see how much like a normal person can read. I would like to start this vlog last Friday, but I just didn't really have time for it. Last Friday, I was really busy finishing and editing the Jade Legacy vlog. By the way, that vlog is really emotional. I really love that book. So if you want to see how much that book has destroyed me, go and watch that video. Thinking about Jade Legacy now, it makes me kind of emotional because that book is just like so good. And so I didn't really have much time for reading. By the time I finished editing that vlog, it was already evening and I need to cook dinner as well. After finishing Jade Legacy by Fondaly, I have started another book, which is Strange Beasts by Susan J. Morris. By the way, it is the Gospel GSFF October book. This one sounds really spooky, but I read it after Halloween, so well done me. In the shop, you can already see like Christmas stuff, Christmas food, Christmas decoration, but I am reading a spooky book. This one is like a historical fantasy with some mystery elements. It is like Sherlock Holmes meeting Dracula as well. It is set in the 19th century in Paris, in which we are following Samantha, a fellow researcher in a college that is for paranormal study. This time she is partnered with Dr. Helen Moriarty. Yes, Moriarty, as in the villain of Sherlock Holmes. Together they will investigate a series of murders in Paris, but Samantha got a special power. She could get into the mind of the monsters, which means that she could retain some memories by touching the monster. So if people finding out this secret, they would think Samantha is crazy. At the same time, Hannah Moriarty is the daughter of a criminal mastermind, and everyone who has worked with her previously are all dead. So who knows what she is plotting? I read this one on my Kindle because it is really easy for me to hold compared to a hardcover. It's much lighter. And then I also read at night, so the light on the Kindle is better for my eyes. So according to the page count on Kindle, because I don't know would it be any difference between the Kindle page count to a traditional book, but no matter what, from Friday to Saturday, the page count is from 28 to 72, which is like less than 50 pages. But it is still a progress. And then on Saturday, I had a day out, so I try to read as much as I can before leaving home. From 72, I could reach page 134. Thanks God I had a morning reading session because otherwise I won't have time for the rest of the day. That's it, I just read in the morning on Saturday. And then coming to Sunday, I know that I need to film this vlog, so I have to make some progress. And I also really didn't have anything planned. I just like watched the football, watched the Premier League, and then doing some reading at the same time. From page 134, I can read up to page 272, which is quite a lot, but I really didn't have anything else to do other than reading. That also means that I have got less than 20% of the Strange Beasts. I am really enjoying this one because I always love a historical fantasy and I also love mystery. This book really executes these two genres really well, and then we also have some really graphic, gruesome scenes, so it can add some horror elements to the book. It is in a way giving me Bloodborne vibe, which is like a video game on PlayStation. We are hunting the truth in a killing rampage of a possible werewolf. Sam and Helen travel to Paris for this series of murders and they find out that there is a pattern to it. Let's say how the victim was killed, what sign was left after these murders. Then they visit quite a lot of places in Paris, interviewing people that might be associated to these murders, as well as digging out the truth. In the beginning, Sam is kind of scared of Helen because of her background and her reputation. I mean, who want to work with somebody that their previous partners are all dead? There's no survivor, all dead. To slowly trusting Helen and believing in her, Sam would also share the fact that she is a channel to Helen to show how much Sam trusts Helen. Sam will also find out why Helen is acting in such way, what being the daughter of Moriarty gonna be like. And then was she really plotting something behind Sam's back? I really love the chemistry between them. There is a possible romance cooking underneath, but it is a slow burn one. I also enjoy this investigation and all the suspects they have met along the way. There are also some mythical creatures that they would encounter. Some might be quite peaceful, if you don't touch it, nothing gonna happen, but some might be quite aggressive. Other than the use of gun to just like shoot those creatures, Sam and Helen need to find other ways to defend themselves, which adds some sort of thriller elements to the story. I don't have much left, but I do really enjoy this one. It is quite a surprise to me because the recent GSFF picks.
I'm great. Let's be honest.
Finally, this one is really fun, really good for the spooky season, and I can't wait to find out how Sam and Helen gonna confront the mastermind behind all these cases. For the rest of the day, I do need to prepare for my October wrap-up video. I don't know how others creators would do their wrap-up video, but for me, I do need a script for it. Honestly, I just can't remember the first book I have finished in the month, let alone share my thoughts about it. So I do need to check my Notion, not Goodreads. I put all my thoughts, all my reviews on my Notion because I can organize them more systematically. I'm not sure would you guys be interested in it. If you want to see my Notion setup for like a reading tracker, do let me know because it is not perfect, my template, but at least it works for me as like a reader, but also someone who needs to create content for YouTube. Then I need to put every thought of all the books that I have finished in October into a script. It will be easier for me to follow when I am filming. Otherwise, I honestly don't know how people can remember every single thing they want to say in the wrap-up video. And also it is for my editing. I know what I have covered, so I won't like trim out anything necessary by accident, if that makes sense to you. So I need to come up with a script today and then I will see will I have time for reading for the rest of the day. And then I will start filming that wrap up tomorrow probably. I don't see myself doing it today. So I'll see you guys later. So I have just finished the script for my October wrap-up. So I guess now it is the time for reading because I still got some time before I need to start cooking dinner. So let's get to reading. I have finished editing my October wrap-up, so it is half full at the moment and the lighting is awful. But I got time for reading today. Let's do some reading. So it is the day after I filmed the opening. Yesterday I need to film and edit my October wrap-up, so I didn't really have much time for reading or give you guys an update about my reading progress. By the way, if you haven't checked out my October wrap-up, feel free to do so. It is on already. But I did manage to finish Strange Beasts on Monday, and then I started a new book soon after, which is The Fifth Throne by Ken Liu, the third book of the Dardanian dynasty. So looking at the reading progress on Monday, for Strange Beasts, I started at page 272 and finished at 336. And then I started The Third Throne and read up to page 35, which is like actually quite a lot. I'm quite surprised by myself. I didn't expect I could read this much in one day. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I need to film my wrap-up. I thought I wouldn't have much time for reading, but I still managed to finish probably roughly around 80 pages from 35 to page 111, which is still quite a lot. Given that I still need to do my editing and filming. So, well done me. But because I am reading my books on my Kindle, I'm not sure the page count on Kindle. Is it the same as reading physically, or does it exaggerate a little bit so I can feel better? So if you know how pages on Kindle works out, do let me know in the comment. I just want to see, do I really read faster on Kindle? I feel like it is, because it is much easier for me to read, easier for me to hold, and I can highlight or make notes along the way, which I won't do to my physical books. And then let's talk about Strange Beasts, which I finished on Monday. This detective story is filled with secrets, mysteries, actions, or like thrillers, which is like something I really didn't expect from this book. I was a bit skeptical when I started this one because I honestly don't know what I would get from it, but turns out it is great. I probably won't pick this one up if I'm not joining the Gospel GSFF. If I see this one in a bookshop, I'll just like, the cover looks interesting, and then pass it. But thanks to Gospel, I can read this great book. Since Sam and Hal went to Paris, they have met a lot of people, and all of them got their own secrets or agendas of what they want to do. When we know more about Helen and her family, the Moriarty, and then roughly how these murders are committed, we roughly can guess who would be the mastermind behind everything, but we are just missing the how. I honestly did guess who did it, because that character is sus and a bit under the radar, should I say. But I was just like missing the how, and I was just like try to put everything together. So when they explained the how, I was like, I do appreciate that Sam, this character, is not the smartest person alive and can guess everything right at one go. Maybe we can also look at other fantasy mystery story, let's say the Tintercup. I forgot who that investigator called, but she's like, I'm really smart. I can figure out the truth like very quickly, but I just like hide it from you. Sam is not that kind of detective. she will make mistakes along the way, and there will be trial and errors. So I guess in a sense, Sam, this character is more relatable because she is not the perfect detective. There were also plenty of actions for Sam and Hal fighting those like impossible, gruesome, mythical creatures. Once again, those scenes are quite brutal and can be quite graphic. So if you are not particularly into those kind of horror, maybe you need to think about should you pick this one up. I also like the chemistry and the relationship between Sam and Hal. From Sam not trusting Hal because of her reputation, to slowly opening up about her secrets as a channel that she could talk to the monsters. Not talking to the monsters, but she could retrieve the memory, something like that. And then they both like making little jokes, but something happened, they don't trust each other. To fully appreciate each other. I am usually not a big fan of this kind of slow burn romance, but this one turns out working for me. One thing though, this one is set in Paris, so from time to time there will be French words throwing here and there. I know nothing about French, so when I usually see those sentences, I will just like skip them, which is low-key annoying to me. It's honestly been a while for me to pick up a fast-paced page-turner. I did have a fun time reading this one. I just wish that I could start this book around Halloween time because this one is perfect for the spooky season. I end up giving it 4 stars. And if there's any sequels in this world, I'll probably check it out too. I really want some more books about Helen and Samantha. Their chemistries are great. And then I started The Theatre Throne by Ken Liu, the 3rd book of the Dundanian dynasty. This book is just like dry. Compared to Strange Beasts, which I just finished, this one is dry. I have just finished the first part, which is roughly around 100 pages in or 10% to the story. I didn't expect we are traveling back to the past and meet a new character called Goston, who is from the literature. We would know about her past with her family, and then she would meet some characters that we have seen in the 2nd book. But this whole part is set in the past, so I think it is actually quite interesting to see a sequel not directly continuing the storyline from the 2nd book, but we are going back. My comment about this part is dry again. With Goston, it is like meeting Somi the first time in the beginning of the 2nd book. It is honestly just so much for me to learn about this character. I would even say that if you'd taken the first part out and printed it as a novella, it would still work because it is like separate from what had happened in the 2nd book. I have already finished 10% of the story and it has nothing to do with the main plot. I can't wait to see how Ken Liu gonna play this part out because otherwise it would be a quite boring setup. One little complaint here though, it has nothing to do with the story but the font. Usually when our characters talking about the past, the myth, or maybe even for the gods talking to each other, the font would turn into italic. Sometimes this part could be quite long, so I'm not sure is that the most comforting format for our eyes because I read that part last night and it was in italic and italic and italic and my eyes ends up quite sore. So it is kind of like hurting my eyes and it is my little complaint about it. I'm not sure if you guys have this kind of problem before when the whole page and then the other page in italic and hurt your eyes. But never mind, the plan for today is reading and reading and reading because I have nothing else to do. I will try to read as much as I can, but the Theatre Throne or the writing of Ken Liu is always on the drier side. I'm not sure would I be able to keep up my reading pace like when I was reading Strange Beasts, but you know what? I will try. See you later. I'm here not because for a reading update, but I received a newsletter from the Broken Binding, which is like a really exciting news. It is about the launch of a new fantasy and sci-fi subscription in 2025. Shut up and take my money. And now I'm thinking, how many book subscriptions do I have and how much I am paying for them? Here you can see I currently have 5 subscriptions. Inkstone, I haven't really got it yet. I might get an invitation for this quarter sub. So I haven't got it yet, but maybe in the future. So you can see Log Library, I have already cancelled it because their current picks are not really for me. And then I also have Very Lewd, the Broken Binding Tier 2 Fantasy sub, and this one is the Broken Binding Sci-Fi sub. This one is Gospel GSFF, and I already crossed it because I don't think I will continue with it. You can see how much I need to pay if I need to get everything. Luckily, some of them are like bi-monthly subscription, which means that you only pay 6 times a year, but still it is quite a lot of money. I've done a simple calculation. If I need to get everything on this list, not include the Law Library or the Gospel, it will be £114. So I'm seriously thinking dropping some of the subscription because it is just too much to keep up with. I'm not sure how you guys will feel about it, but I know that it should be a really exciting news, but money-wise, it is tight. Yesterday, I said that I would try to do as much reading as possible because I have nothing else to do, but I failed. I have been reading the Filter Throne on my Kindle and my progress is from page 111 to page 195, I think. And it is honestly not as much as I hope. And the reason about it is that this book is just too dry. Now, don't get me wrong, the plot itself is more exciting than the first part. I am actually reading the second part and I am still working on it. This part taking place right after the ending of the second book, so it is not like the first part that we are like reading the background of a new character. No, it is about Princess Thera and Prince Tarkful, I believe is how you call his name, traveling through the barrier that is made by all the storms, and they were chased by the Liu Chu. This part I would say is more exciting than the first part because it is like a catching game. After spending nearly a year on the sea and nearly losing everyone, the Liu Chu lost everything and they can't wait anymore. Sorry about that. They wanna get the resources on the ship of Princess Thera, so they wanna chase them. So these two parties mainly will be following Princess Thera. They have to think a way to either escape or chase the other one. Logically, this part is more exciting because when they come up with a plan, it looks like everything is going well, but sometimes there will be a mistake and they have to make up for it. So this part is actually quite intense and quite full of actions. I enjoy Princess Thera, this character. She is obviously the smartest one out of the 3 kids, but she still got quite a lot to learn. Her father, Kuni, without a doubt is a great emperor. The way he treated people and the way he gambled for a greater outcome. And then her mother, Jia, even under the monitor of Hegemon in the first book, she was not afraid. So on this journey, she tried to live up to her parents' legacy. Princess Thera also gave a chance for Tarkful to shine. Tarkful, this character, is coming from the Liu Chu, but he is from the other clan. I think it is called Aegon. People from Dara on this ship still don't quite know about this prince or who he really is. So Princess Thera will give Tafel a push to teach him the way that can earn the trust of the soldiers. And I do enjoy the way of Thera doing things because she is really caring and considerate. But my biggest problem is still the dryness of Ken Liu's writing style. Don't get me wrong, I still love the actions, I still love the plotting. But once we get to the details of the world building, Ken Liu is really detailed. I totally appreciate how Ken Liu construct this world, let's say for a character. Not just the character itself, but also maybe about their childhood, what they have gone through, how they come to power. Also, let's say the world building, the biology behind every mythical creatures, the steampunk technology and the scientific and engineering work behind, all the history, all the myths, the mechanism behind how things work in a great machine, what material this part is made of, what is the dimension or the size of it, and then we also got grand battles and looking at how everybody works in these battles. All of it packed in a one single book, which is like a lot and so dry. So from time to time, I do think like, Ken Liu, you're great. You construct such a masterpiece. This world is fantastic. But also sometimes I would be thinking, as a reader myself, do I really need every single detail about this world? When I say details, I do really mean details of everything. That is also the reason why I said I struggle reading this one, even though now I am roughly 20% into the story. I just find it quite difficult to get through all the world buildings, all the details. I even get impatient. I just want to see how our characters are doing in this world. I honestly don't think this problem will get any better because it is like the signature of Ken Liu. This book is like 1,000 pages long, so wish me luck, guys. It is so difficult to get through this book. And I also read some comments maybe on Goodreads. They said like it is like lots of novellas packed in one single book. And later, there will be something more about cooking, and it is also quite detailed. I'm scared. So I'm scared and I need some therapy. Not long ago, I received this broken binding edition of the 3-body problem, but I haven't unwrapped it yet, so maybe we can do it together here. I need some like
retail therapy.
The most exciting part is about these 3 tapes here. It is like really soothing to do so. It might be a bit cringy. You may be thinking like, what the hell am I doing? But it's like, just like, one last time. I don't want to turn it into like ASMR, but it's really therapeutic. I didn't do it well. This time I didn't do it well. I left a mark on it. So ta-da! Here is the book, The 3-Body Problem by Ken Liu. And then here is the illustration in the front, in the back. And of course it is the stencil etch. I don't know when will I start this one because it is a sci-fi and I don't think myself is a massive fan of sci-fi, to be fair. I didn't finish all the 3 books in the last round of sci-fi series by Anywhere. I only finished The Martian, but I think that might be not my cup of tea. I'm not sure about the 3-body problem. I have heard about it. I knew it is great. My TBR currently is full. I don't think I got time to really read this one, and also I need to wait till maybe January or February to receive the final book. I would rather wait until I get all the books and then I will start this series. And also I'm thinking about the new sci-fi and fantasy subscription from the Broken Binding. They said that subscription is only for new release and it is bi-monthly. So I'm thinking maybe in the future, I will skip one series and then think about would I cancel my sci-fi sub and replace it with the new SFF sub, basically. Not long ago, I just say like maybe I will cancel my Gospra GSFF. Basically, I'm thinking to cancel Gospra, cancel this TBB sci-fi, but sign up for the new TBB one, which is mainly focusing on the new release. Because what the new TBB SFF is doing is kind of similar to the Gospra one, but I didn't quite enjoy the picks from Gospra, so I would definitely cancel Gospra sometime soon. Now, after this little piece of happiness, I need to get back to my dry field throne. Let's do it. So here comes to the end of this final test to see how much I can read in a day. I honestly want to do it for one more day, but I really have to finish filming this one and edit this video, so here's the end. My progress on Thursday for my Field of Thorn by Ken Liu is from page 194 or 195 to 294. It is roughly around 100 pages, and I am honestly really happy with this progress because, like I said in the last update, this book is really dry and I do sometimes feel difficult to get through it. But with this progress, it also means that I have just finished the part 2 of the Field of Throne. To be fair, I found this part more exciting, more like engaging than the first part. In part 2, we mainly follow Princess Thera visiting the Aegon clan for the first time, along with Prince Tafut and all the scholars, all the soldiers they brought from Dara. After the catch and chase game I mentioned earlier, they found a mysterious girl on one of the ships. From other chapters, us, the readers, will know the identity of this mysterious girl, but our character don't. So it is quite interesting to see this mysterious girl show up and try to learn everything, and I mean everything. After spending so much time on the sea, they finally arrive the other side. They firstly have to cross the desert so that they can visit the clan, but they are running low on water. Luckily, with Thoyo, this mysterious girl they found on the ship, Princess Thera come up with an idea to distilling water from urine, which is quite smart, and that explanation, that science behind is known to us, but seeing how it applies in a fantasy world is fascinating. I wouldn't say this is as dry as the first one because we have some more character interaction. This whole part is so similar to what Luan has gone through in the second book, but with this character interaction, it makes the whole thing more engaging to the readers. Let's say Princess Thera and Tafut, they both care for each other, but they don't really explicitly express their feelings, but they deep down really care about how each other feel. I low-key love this kind of slow burn romance. In the last 2 books, I wouldn't say romance is a strong element, but in here, I like it. How eager Thoyo, this mysterious girl, is to learn and offer another side of thinking. All of this brings so much more dynamic to the story, and I found this whole part more entertaining than the first part. Yes, this part we still got some like dry side of information, let's say the distillation of urine, or some characters explaining the history of the Aegon clan. But in here we got more political intrigue. I do enjoy seeing how our characters do this kind of problem solving. It is quite funny because they have to balance all the interests and come up the best solution in this situation. Princess Sarah is smart, but she still got so much more to learn to put what she has learned before into a practical situation. I am quite enjoying to see how Princess Sarah solve some problems, and the ending of this part I would say is quite interesting because the way they send message across the ocean again is I would say no spoiler here, but with this mysterious girl, the identity of her and the animal they chose to use, interesting. And I can't wait to see Somi again. I honestly want to see how Somi react when she got the message from Sarah, who is on the other side. It will be quite touching, won't it? Then to quickly summarize my reading progress for this week, on Friday I read 44 pages, Saturday 62, Sunday 138, Monday 99, Tuesday 76, Wednesday 84, Thursday 100. Why I read so much more like in the week than in the weekend? On average, every day I read 86 pages. The reason why I want to do this video is to really see how much I can read in a day. I never did anything like this to look at my page count every day, so seeing this number 86 I am still quite happy with because it means that I have done some reading every day. Also, as a little booktuber, I want to break the stereotype of booktubers that they all read a lot in a day. I am a super normal, ordinary person. Other than reading, I still have my own life. I will do some gaming every day when I'm not reading. I will do some housework, I need to cook, I would watch TV, I will watch porno, I will watch non-booktube videos, and then I will hang out. I am normal and I don't spend every second of my life just on reading. It is a hobby, it is a passion that I picked up, not something that's gonna define my life or like choose what I need to do in a day. By the way, I do listen to audiobook. Currently, I am listening to The Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, the sixth book in the Throne of Glass series. But I didn't include my progress of it in this video. I mainly listened to it when I did some housework, so it is hard to put the actual page number to it. All in all, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you don't want to miss any content from me, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. I'll see you all real soon. Goodbye.